What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, football fans? It's your boy TK the Official, and welcome back to another episode of TK Sports Talk, man. Listen, the NFL playoffs are set, okay? We're going to get into all the matchups, all right? Check out Super Wildcard Saturday, Super Wildcard Sunday, and dive into a little bit of that coming up here soon. But it is January 8th. It's Monday, January 8th, the second Monday of the new year, and, it's time for the college playoff championship game. All right, this is the game that every college football team, at least all the ones in the FCS and all the ones in Division One programs, are shooting for. Each and every year, they're trying to compete and go ahead and get into the playoffs so that they can compete for the national championship. And tonight is going to be Michigan against Washington. Okay, so this is a key matchup here. Okay, Washington is representing the Pac-12. All right, Michigan, we all know, is representing the Big Ten. All right, and it's a crazy thing because the Pac-12 is actually coming to a close. This is the last year that the Pac-12 is going to be in existence in college football, all right, as we're going to have some super conferences going on, all right, and the SEC, and we all know there's plenty of space, all right. The ACC is getting some, all right, Big Ten is getting a couple different teams that's coming in too, all right. So it's looking real good as far as college football goes, and is looking real good as far as college football is concerned. And I got to tell you, I'm excited for the game tonight. All right. I hope you're excited too. Let me know in the comments down below who you guys think are going to win the game tonight. All right. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on the game. All right. So this is one of the more exciting games that I can remember. I like the way both of these two teams play. I got to tell you, early on in the year, I wasn't really watching too much of Washington football, but later on into the college year, I kind of started watching them, and I kind of started really liking what I was seeing. And they a real deal football team. This team is an offensive football team, just like most teams in the Pac-12, but they got enough players on defense that make enough plays in opportune times. All right. And with an offense like this, man, I mean, they really put teams behind the eight ball. They force you to throw. They force you to try to stay in games with them. All right. My man Michael Penix has two wide receivers out there, both over 1,000 yards for the year. All right. I really like Michael Penix, to be honest with you. I'm going to talk a lot about Washington more than I will about Michigan. It's no disrespect to John Harbaugh. It's no disrespect to J.J. McCarthy. It's no disrespect to Blake Corum. I really like what I see from the Michigan squad. The defense is tight. We all know what John Harbaugh type of team is going to bring out there on the football field. Blake Corum is a terrific running back. But I really think that this Washington team has a chance to really go out there and upset the nation tonight, because John Harbaugh has coined the Michigan Wolverines as America's team. All right. That's something that they're going with. All right. And if they're going to upset the nation, if they're going to upset America, right now it's looking like Washington is a 5.5-point favorite. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I listen, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm not even telling you to gamble or anything like that, but I like Washington straight out tonight. All right. Not a great odds, plus 176, but if you ask me, man, it's worth a little bit of money down there on the money line. Again, I am not telling you what to do with your money. However, I like what I see out of this Washington team, man. I really think that if they get things flowing, Michigan, and you're going to really have to force J.J. McCarthy to try to throw the football. And I don't think that's the strength of Michigan. I think they like to dominate the clock. They like to possess the football. They like to get the running game going and then get some play action passes happening behind that. That's where they're really at the strength. But this Washington offensive line is a very good offensive line. Matter of fact, coming into the game tonight, it's the best offensive line in college football this year. All right. So I think that they'll be able to hold up against what Michigan is able to do on the defensive front. And that's going to give Michael Penix and his offense a lot of time to create downfield and make some plays. And again, I really think that that's going to put Michigan behind the eight ball. We saw what Alabama was able to do against Michigan. All right. I'm traditionally an Alabama fan, all right, but I don't believe in Melrose all that much, and I was surprised that Alabama was able to hang in the game with Michigan the way that they were. I really was surprised by that, but we'll see what happens tonight. It's an exciting game. Prediction for the game tonight. Let's see, man. What do you guys think the prediction for the game is? Let me know down there in the comments below how you guys feel. All right, but I think this game tonight, I like Washington 31, Michigan 24. All right. That's the score. That's what I like. All right. I don't think this is going to be an overtime game or anything like that. I just think that Washington this year
they have a lot of weapons. Michigan is a great defensive team. I love the way that they play defense. But when you got a quarterback that can create plays, and you got a quarterback that can maneuver the way in the pocket the way that he doesn't necessarily flush out of the pocket. He manipulates the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield. All right, and he's able to make plays, man. And that's what it's going to come down to in these type of games right here. It's going to come down to not only your playmakers, but it's going to come down to the trigger man, the guy that got the ball in his hands. All right, so this is coming down to J.J. McCarthy, and this is coming down to Michael Penix. And if we're going to be honest about it, all right, Washington has the much better quarterback. I mean, it's not even close. All right, so let's see, J.J. McCarthy this year. He threw for 2,851 yards and 22 touchdowns, all right? While Michael Penix threw for over 4,600 yards and 35 touchdowns, okay? So you can do the math. You can deduce what you do, all right? You know how to subtract, and, you can see who was the better quarterback this year, okay? Who has the more explosive offense, all right? And so Michigan is going to have a tall task on their hands tonight in trying to defend this Washington offense. And so we'll see how it goes, all right? But again, I like Washington tonight, 31-24 over the John Harbaugh-led Michigan Wolverines. All right. Now, getting into the NFL, man, we saw some crazy outcomes in the NFL this Sunday. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars, all right, were unable to win a game against the Tennessee Titans, another team that has absolutely nothing to play for other than to play spoiler. All right, so the Tennessee Titans were able to go out there, all right, at home and get a win against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not quite sure. This is Black Monday. I haven't heard anything about Doug Peterson. We have heard some coaches have been fired. All right. Ron Rivera is no longer in Washington, D.C. My man down there in Arthur something down there in Atlanta, he's no longer with the team. With his team anymore. He's no longer coaching the Atlanta Falcons. And we've seen that coming. These were two moves that we've seen coming. I mean, just think about a guy that has the talent that you have down there in Atlanta. You got Bijan Robinson. You got Drake London. You got Pitts. All right. And I'm probably missing somebody, but you're not able to matriculate the ball downfield. You're not able to sustain any type of an offense. You're not able to go out there and consistently put a positive product on the field each and every week. And, I think that you're wasting some of these players' time, and you're definitely wasting the owner's time. And they made that decision. Okay, so I was curious to see what happens with Doug Peterson. I don't want to go off and forget what topic was that I was talking about, but curious to see what happens with Doug Peterson down there. I mean, you got a lot of talent. Same thing that we're talking about in Atlanta. Okay, you got a lot of talent out there in Jacksonville, and this is the second straight year that it ends in disappointment. All right, this is not the way that these seasons are supposed to end in Jacksonville, with the type of defense that they have, with the kind of offense that they have, with the kind of quarterback that they have. So we'll see what happens in Jacksonville coming up rather soon. But at any rate, the Houston Texans, they benefit, okay? Not only do the Houston Texans benefit, the Pittsburgh Steelers also benefit, the Buffalo Bills also benefited, okay? So even if the Buffalo Bills didn't win their game, they would have been at least a wild card team this week. I think they would have been the 6th seed just by virtue of the Jaguars going out there and wetting the bed and not taking care of business against the Tennessee Titans, okay? But the Houston Texans, all right, is the first game that's coming up on this wild card Saturday. All right. It's going to be the Houston Texans against the Cleveland Browns. And what a story if you're DeMeco Ryans. All right.
Man, love you guys, man. You too. Man, proud of the determination, man. You talk about determination, pure grit. Everybody fight to their last play. Yeah. That's what it's about, man. And we punched our ticket. Yeah.
Right, if you're D'Amico Ryans and if you are the Houston Texans, what a story that in your first year coaching the team as a defensive coordinator, and we all know how the league feels about defensive coordinators for the most part as head coaches, especially when you have a rookie quarterback, all right, your first round pick, all right. Typically you would pair that type of quarterback with an offensive guru, someone who can cultivate that quarterback and make sure the success of the franchise it lies within their hands. But D'Amico Ryans took a Texans defense that was already a pretty good defense, all right. This wasn't a bad defense, okay. We saw some talent on this defense. We saw some moments last year where they really was able to make some plays, and even on offense, all right, we saw that there were some times where they were able to make plays. They just didn't have, a dominant quarterback at the helm throwing the ball, all right? But what we were able to see was that when C.J. Stroud was able to come in there, man, he really wowed everybody this year. He came out and he handled his business like a grown man. And C.J. Stroud, for every game that he played, he was prepared for that game, and he led his team in a way that a veteran quarterback would do. And this is a rookie quarterback that was able to do something like that. And big credit to D'Amico Ryans for being able to get all of his coaches together, to get all his players together, to get all of them to believe that they can achieve, that they cannot be the laughing stock of the league, and they could not be a team that was winning 3 games and was looking just inept and bad out there on the football field. But this was the team that if they believed in themselves, that they can go out there and they can win football games. And they were in every game that they played, even in games that they didn't ultimately win. I saw this football team valiantly fight every game. And here's the Texans team that lost Tank Dell, and a lot of people didn't know who Tank Dell was coming into the season. And to be honest, I didn't know exactly who Tank Dell was either, okay? But Tank Dell was a very valuable weapon for C.J. Stroud, and so now C.J. Stroud has Nick Collins as his primary weapon, and he also has Dalton Schultz, who came over from the Cowboys last year, is now playing on that team and is playing very well and is being a reliable weapon for C.J. Stroud. And I'm telling you, I we like what's happening with Singletary in the backfield. I like how this defense is playing. Will Anderson has been playing pretty well. He's dealing with a little bit of an injury, but he's been doing a pretty good job out there on the edge and trying to create some pressure and make some plays and try to lead this defense. And I like what I see from the Houston Texans. I do. I love what I see, man. Okay. And I say all that to say that it might come to the end of the road. All right. If you ask me, I'm taking the Browns in this game. All right. You talk about the Browns, and yes, the Browns with Joe Flacco. Okay. The Browns with Joe Flacco. If it was the Browns with Donovan Peoples-Jones, if this was the Browns with, whoever else they had in there at their quarterback, and then maybe this might be something different. All right. But the way that the Cleveland Browns have been looking with Joe Flacco, you're talking about a team that's averaging over 28 points a game. You're talking about a defense that's holding teams under 17 points a game. The Browns are a team that's led by Myles Garrett. And let me tell you, all right, I'm not a Johnny come lately or anything like that. I know how great Myles Garrett is and how great he's been, all right, but I didn't watch Myles Garrett as much as I put my eyes on him this year, and he absolutely takes over football games. I mean, on each and every play, he is the equivalent, if not one up to a TJ Watt. I mean, this is a guy that each and every play, you got to worry about where he is. He's either lined up outside, he's lined up inside, and he's going to make plays. Jim Schwartz has got this defense playing the type of defense that he played back in Philadelphia, man. And we loved Jim Schwartz when he was here, when he brought that wide 9 here. We had a lot of success when he was here. Things didn't work out, but, Jim Schwartz has been a guru, a defensive coordinator, a guru for a very, very long time. And the way that defense is playing, going up against the Texans, and just to be honest, I mean, C.J. Stroud, I'm not going to say that this is a rookie quarterback in his first playoff game. He has no chance and things like that. That's not what I'm going to say. I think this is going to be a very close game. But what I do like is I like that fact that this offense for the Cleveland Browns is playing the way that it is. Amani Cooper is balling, and Njoku is coming alive, and over the latter part of the season, especially since Joe Flacco has been a quarterback, he's balling. All right. The running game is getting going. back there, and Joe Flacco's the veteran piece that they need, all right, to be able to keep this offense on time, all right, because the defense is going to give the opposing offense a hard time, and a lot of times we're going to get you some punts, we're going to try to flip the field and get you some favorable field position, and so in the end, all right, I like the Browns. I like what Kevin Stefanski and Jim Schwartz are doing over there. I like Joe Flacco coming in there, man, and it's hard, man. I'm picking against what my better thought might be, but I really do think that I like the Browns to find a way to win this game. Really no reason to give a prediction at this particular time. All right. So later on, in the week, we'll talk some more about the game and we'll go over that and see how that one phases out. All right. But then after that, we got Miami versus the Kansas City Chiefs, man. And what a game. All right. What a game that's going to be. You got Tyreek Hill coming back to Kansas City. And I'm telling you, it's kind of like the NFL writers are just making these scripts the way these type of things are shaking out, the way that they're happening. Right. But, is it finally a time that Kansas City reign's going to come to an end? All right. The Kansas City Chiefs, for the moment, are still playing at home. And for the moment, they still have not and will not play a road game thus far. OK, but what's going to happen when this game right here? OK. All right. Will Kansas City wind up playing a road game? Are they going to be able to get past the Miami Dolphins? All right. We'll see what happens with Tua Tagovailoa, with Tyreek Hill. All right. It looks like Jalen Waddle should be back. Hopefully Devin Achane is back. Hopefully Raheem Mostert, will be back. I need to get myself something to drink here. My mouth is quite dry. But hopefully Raheem Mostert will be back and we'll be able to see this offense. We know Travis Kelce will be back. We know Patrick Mahomes will be back. And will one of his wide receivers, will Kadarius Toney, will he finally step up, mature, and make some plays out there? Will it be Rashee Rice to start making some plays out there? All right, Watson, who's going to make some plays for Patrick Mahomes? Okay, because we know that it's too easy for them to key on Travis Kelce right now if no one else is making plays. All right, and this is a rematch of a game that we saw early in the year that it looks like that Miami just ran out of time. Once Miami settled down after that first half, they shut the Kansas City Chiefs out in that second half, and they just ran out of time. All right, so it'll be interesting to see how this game goes right here, okay? Because I'm not quite sure, but I'm not sure if Jalen Ramsey was playing in that game when they played the Chiefs the first time, and that definitely makes a difference this time. Well, all right, we're having him and Xavier Howard, the way that they'll be able to, rotate the coverages and switch off and, get some matchups with Travis Kelce. And so, other guys are going to have to step up or else, we might not see Patrick Mahomes, okay? The other game in the AFC, all right, that's going to be happening on Sunday is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills was able to get the home field advantage and was able to win their division with a win over the Miami Dolphins last night on Sunday Night Football on NBC. And, Josh Allen, again, didn't have one of his great games, all right? In fact, he had 3 turnovers in this game right here, okay? This was a close game. It could have went either way. Tua Tagovailoa wound up throwing an interception at the end of that game, all right? We also know that there was a punt return, so the special teams for the Buffalo Bills was able to get themselves the touchdown, or this game could have went a different way. All right, we know that was a part of the game, all right, but we can't always count on that to happen each and every time in a game. We all know that. So it'll be interesting to see this particular game right here. I do not think I like what Mason Rudolph has been able to bring to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I don't think that they'll be able to put up much of a fight against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at home. I know there's a lot of injuries on defense, but they have enough of their star key players, the veteran players that's on that football team, and that's being able to make some plays. The defensive line is making a lot of plays, and we know how Josh Allen can be, all right? So his last game, he had 3 turnovers, all right? So that means this next game he's probably going to have 3 touchdowns and maybe 1 turnover and a couple of spectacular plays and get his team to a victory, all right? So, I would love to see Mike Tomlin be able to get a win, all right. So, I'm a fellow black man, black man thing. Look, that's just is what it is. I ain't going to make no front about that. I like Mike Tomlin. He's been doing this thing for a very, very, very long time. All right. And he went through another tough year. Was getting questioned again about his coaching and whether or not he should keep his job. And not only did he finish with another winning season, he also absolutely, this time, instead of last year, he got his team into the playoffs. All right. And they look like they're playing some pretty good football right now. Okay. They're playing some pretty good, pretty decent football at this moment right now. And so, in the playoffs, anything could happen. All right. Anything could happen. I'm sure, defensively, Mike Tomlin will have his team ready. And it's just a matter of what will the Pittsburgh offense look like. All right. Will Buffalo and Sean McDermott be able to affect Mason Rudolph at the quarterback position? All right. That's really what it's going to come down to. All right. So I don't think that they will. I think Buffalo will find a way to win this game. I think Josh Allen will make enough plays on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. Okay. Can Josh Allen make enough plays, not only with his arm, but with his feet? And I think that's what it's going to take for him to win this game, because I think, Buffalo is while a lot of people think that they're a scary football team, I think that they're a marginal football team. I think that, they're an up and down football team. You don't know what you're going to get from a Buffalo. I think that they can win any game on Sunday. I think that they can lose any game on Sunday. And so, we'll see what happens in that game right there. Okay. So, that's it with the AFC. All right. Then we jump into the NFC. On Sunday, all right, we'll start with the Packers versus the Cowboys. And, man, that's a loaded game right there, all right? All right, I know y'all see the Eagles back there in the background. And, yes, I am a Philadelphia Eagles football fan. But, objectively as a football fan, this is a big game. This is a much closer game than you think that this game might be. Aaron Love and the Green Bay Packers are playing outstanding football. You need to check his numbers if you don't know what they are. My man is in his first year, has led his team to the playoffs, has his team playing well. His defense is playing very well. All right. And we know that they got some sneaky players on the on the defensive line over there that's able to get out there and make some plays. And so we've seen this matchup before against the Packers and the Cowboys here. And this time it's going to be down there in Texas. And, this is going to be a key game. Make no mistake about it, man. Dak Prescott is and has been playing MVP type caliber football. Will he be the MVP? I think that's going to wind up going to Lamar Jackson. All right. And I think deservedly so. All right. But if there was any other player that was deserved of the MVP right next to or right underneath Lamar Jackson, all right, I'm going to objectively say that would be one Dak Prescott. For the way he's played this year, CeeDee Lamb is absolutely a number one receiver. I remember there was some time earlier in the year where a lot of people were discussing and talking about whether or not they thought that CeeDee Lamb was a number one wide receiver, which is absolutely ridiculous. CeeDee Lamb was the number one wide receiver in Oklahoma. All right, you can see that he was going to be a star in the NFL, and CeeDee Lamb is exactly a star in the NFL. Okay, and a lot of people, so Dak Prescott they make each other look good. All right, there's times where Dak Prescott throws CeeDee Lamb open, and there's times where CeeDee Lamb is able to uncover and to make himself a readily available target to Dak Prescott. All right. And Dak Prescott and his Cowboy offense has found the way to get Brandon Cooks going into this offense. He's now figuring out what his role is. All right. And this offense is rolling now. Okay. They're not running the ball as much as they thought that they were going to. They got rid of Kellen Moore. We all know the story with the Dallas Cowboys, man. All right. They got McCarthy in there. They got rid of Kellen Moore. They thought they were going to start running the ball a little bit. They wanted to take the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands because he threw a lot of interceptions last year, but Dak Prescott is back to being the Dak Prescott that we've known him to be. And whether you like him, you don't like him, Dak Prescott is for lack of a better term, kind of like a machine. He goes out there and he does his thing, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. You pretty much going to get that from Dak for the most part. Dak is going to throw the ball. He's going to get the ball. He's going to make some plays. He's going to make some plays with his legs. He's going to extend some plays. All right, so the real question about this game is the Cowboys defense. All right, this Cowboy defense has not been the defense that we thought it was going to be this year. While this Cowboys defense has not been a bad defense, this Cowboys defense has been a good defense, but it hasn't had the impact, especially toward the latter part of the season. So perhaps this Cowboy defense can find its way going against Green Bay. All right, they do have a tough opponent to play against. I mean, you got Dillon, you got Jones, you got Love, you got Dobbs, you got the tight end, I can't remember his name right now. You got Watson. I think he'll be playing this game. All right, so it's a lot of weapons out there for the Green Bay Packers. All right, can the Dallas Cowboys affect Jordan Love in his first playoff game? All right, that's what it's going to be. All right, that's what it's going to come down to. Can the Cowboys find a way to get in there and to pressure Jordan Love and to make him uncomfortable? All right, or will the Packers be able to run the ball down the Cowboys' throats? So the Cowboys is going to have to figure out how to stop that run because it's the playoffs. All right, so we'll see what's going on. We'll talk about that game a little bit later down later on in the week. All right, but just think about that game right there. That's going to be another really, really good matchup. All right, coming up on Sunday. The next game coming up that Sunday night is the Rams versus the Lions. I mean, the NFL lucked up and has some really, really good football games coming up in the playoffs. All right, the Rams are a surging team. The Lions, these are two high octane offenses here. Okay, so which defense can play better defense? I like what I saw from the Detroit Lions in the last couple games coming up, especially from their star players. They're out there making plays. Adrian Hutchinson's out there making plays for himself, turning me into a believer. All right, because I didn't know quite how he was going to be coming out of Michigan, but man, all right, my man is out there making plays. All right, he's improved from last year, and he's just found the ways to come out here and be dominant. All right, and he's affecting a lot of plays, and he's allowing the secondary to make plays behind him. And so the Detroit is defense is cooking right now. We know about the offense. All right, they got a lot of weapons out there. Raymond, they got Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right, we know they got the two running backs, Montgomery. We know they got Gibbs back there, okay? And I'm happy to see Jahmyr Gibbs having such a great season. All right, at first I wasn't quite sure why they let go of DeAndre Swift, the way they were using Jahmyr Gibbs in the beginning of the season. But, man, the way Jahmyr Gibbs and the Detroit Lions have figured things out toward the midpoint of the season, the way that they've flown right now, I mean, they are a football team that can come in there and put up 28 points on you, and you have to be able to keep up with them. And I think that I was going to call them the St. Louis Rams, all right? I think that the L.A. Rams are able to do just that, all right? We're talking about Matt Stafford. We're talking about Kyron Williams. And who's been playing better at the running back position, maybe besides Christian McCaffrey, than Kyron Williams since he's come back from his injury to the L.A. Rams, all right? And then you add him to an offense with Matt Stafford, with Puka Nacua, with Cooper Kupp, and the other weapons that they have out there with Sean McVay. And this defense, you still have Aaron Donald and a couple other guys on this defense that's really making things happen for them. And they're really being carried by their offense. And so I just think that these are two teams who may be able to put up fireworks. I definitely think this game is going over 54 points. However it goes, I didn't look at the spread, and we'll talk about that a little bit later during the week, all right? But that is going to be one very, very exciting game. I can't wait for that particular matchup right there. I know you can as well, all right? Y'all can always comment down below. Let me know who you think are going to win these matchups, all right? If you're a fan of either one of these teams, let me know why you're going to win the game and why. Or if you have any concerns coming up into the game, let me know what those concerns are, okay? And then, all right, I saved the best for last, right? All right. So coming up on Monday night, all right, you got the Philadelphia Eagles against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. And I don't know where this Philadelphia Eagles football team is at right now. I don't know where they are physically. I don't know where they are mentally. I don't know what this Philadelphia football team is playing for. Okay, are they playing for pride? Are they playing for respect? Are they playing for their coach? Are they playing for each other? Are they playing for a chance to go back to the Super Bowl and win this time, all right? what has happened to the Philadelphia Eagles starting the season 10-1 and then losing 5 out of the last 6 games. All right, now going into a playoff against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who limped into the playoffs. All right, let's keep it honest. All right, these are 2 teams who are both limping into the playoffs right now, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers honestly are just looking a little bit better than the Philadelphia Eagles at this particular point in time. All right, now we know all the talent on this Philadelphia Eagles team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We all know the linemen. We know Jordan Mailata. We know Landon Dickerson. We know Jason Kelsey. All right, we know Cam Jurgens. We know Lane Johnson. All right, this is a top 5 offensive line in the football league. Okay, now outside we have Devontae Smith. Hopefully Devontae Smith should be coming back from injury. We know he suffered a mild ankle sprain to his right ankle, I believe, and so he should be coming back. He did not play against the Giants. Should be coming back and be available for this game against the Bucs. And then we have A.J. Brown. We have Dallas Goedert, who also I was going to say faked an injury. Excuse me for saying so. Who also sustained. That's what I meant to say. Who also sustained the injury, but looks like he's okay and looks like he'll be available and ready to play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We have Dallas Goedert. Quez Watkins made some plays for the Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. All right, he had 93 yards, 8 receptions, and he had a touchdown. Nice catch where he went up, high pointed the ball over 2 defenders, came down with it. Will he be a factor in the offense this week against the Bucs? What about Julio Jones? Not to mention DeAndre Swift in the backfield, Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield. And then Jalen Hurts is always the key to see how he's doing, who also hurt himself and dislocated the finger. We'll have to see how that is affecting his throwing, how that's affecting him gripping the ball. But we also saw Baker Mayfield with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers limping throughout the game that they played against the Carolina Panthers. Have to look a little bit deeper into that. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the week and find out exactly what that injury was to Baker Mayfield and how that might affect the outcome of this particular football game. But we know what they bring. They have a solid offensive line. All right, we know they got Mike Evans out there leading that wide receiver corps out there. And we know they got Tashard White running the football. And we know the Eagles have struggled in the last couple of weeks against the run. And just like I mentioned earlier, for Dallas and for every team really in the playoffs, at this particular point in time, it is about stopping the run and running the football. That's what the playoffs are about. Yeah, you're going to make a couple plays out there on the outside. You're going to make a couple shot plays. You're going to have a couple big plays. But for the most part, you need to run the football effectively and you need to stop the run. Okay, so the Eagles will be tested. All right, so we know that the Eagles can run the ball effectively. Will they run the ball effectively? Will they commit to running the football effectively this week? Maybe their injury to Jalen Hurts may play a factor in that. Maybe that is something that they will do. We'll talk about that a little bit more this week on the channel as well. All right, I'm going to make sure I commit to that in the 2024. All right, so this will be a key matchup. We know what the Buccaneers are on the defensive side of the ball. All right, they play the Tampa too. Todd Bowles is over there. They like to blitz a lot. All right, so you're going to play another team that likes to blitz a lot. We know the Eagles just struggled last week against the New York Giants when it comes to going up against the blitz. So this is going to be one of those games where we'll have to really see what the Philadelphia Eagles are made of. Have they learned from their prior 2 outings against the Arizona Cardinals and against the New York Giants? Will they be able to handle the pressure that Todd Bowles is going to throw their way? Because you know that this is a copycat league, and you know that Todd Bowles is one of those defensive coordinators, even though he's a head coach, that's able to create and bring those exotic type of blitzes and really force you to know where you're going with the football. Okay, and speaking of defense, I try not to, but we have to discuss the Philadelphia Eagles defense, which has been horrible, putrid, just distasteful, just disgusting. With any adjective or anything that's going to describe what this Philadelphia Eagles defense is, you're more than welcome to add a comment down below. All right, but we know that this Philadelphia Eagles defense has gone through a change at coordinator. They went from Sean Desai and they changed over to Matt Patricia. And it seems like that when you think that the defense couldn't get any worse, it did. All right. So somehow, some way, Matt Patricia has not been able to find ways to put his guys, or to maybe even utilize his guys in the best position possible. We've seen Hassan Reddick dropping more instead of rushing the passer. We've seen guys not knowing where they're supposed to drop at in their zones, not knowing who they're supposed to cover in man. We've seen guys not knowing their gap responsibilities and their run fit. So there's a lot of different things that's going on. Matt Patricia has now been calling his defense for now the last 3 to 4 weeks. And so a lot of Eagles fans, and myself included, are hoping that they've had enough time to kind of know what they're doing now. Okay, so we're hoping that was the last couple of mistakes that they were making against the New York Giants. Although this team looked disinterested when they played against the New York Giants, so I'm not quite sure if this was just the team being that bad, or the guys were just disinterested in the game, and really knowing that the true outcome was going to be that Dallas was going to win the game against Washington, and that the Eagles were automatically going to be the number 5 seed anyway. All right, so I'm sure a lot of guys maybe didn't really want to play. Maybe they wasn't, maybe they were a little more focused on not getting hurt. Well, I'm making excuses, whatever it was, man. It was a bad performance from the Philadelphia Eagles playing against the New York Giants yesterday that we all witnessed. Watching on TV. So, we'll see what the Philadelphia Eagles are able to flip the switch. All right. Well, are they able to flip the switch and go out there and put up a good showing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who haven't looked good themselves in the last 2 weeks against the Saints and the Carolina Panthers? So we'll see what happens. All right. That is the Monday night game, and that is what's going on for tonight, and that is what's going on coming up in the NFL this weekend. You let me know, you guys, who your favorite teams are. Let me know how you feel like your team is going to go in the playoffs. Let me know what your favorite matchups are, and just let me know how you feel, man. Let me know. And just let me know how you feel going into your matchup this week against the team that you're playing against. Let me know. All right, what worries you? What are you happy about? What are you leaning on? What do you think that the eventual outcome will be of your football game? All right, and I'll touch on a little more of those things. We'll go a little bit more in depth on some of those things during this week, and I'll try to make sure I stay up on that, man. This has been fun, man. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you share this video. This is your boy TK the Official, and this has been another episode of TK Sports Talk. I'm out.